Hello and welcome to Y Media Political Sensex. I am your host, Ramona Singh, and lots going on today, and it's about vaccine mandates and what it means as mandates have been removed, and the last of the mandates when it comes to COVID, well, it's going to be removed as of this weekend. But when it comes to vaccine mandate on a federal level for travel and going to the workplace, whether if you're federal government employee, well, that is of discussion today as of just a few days ago. A Saskatchewan MP, Cathay Wagenthal, was removed from the House of Commons when she's an MP, she's a Saskatchewan area MP. She was removed from the site when she went to the House of Commons. This is quite of a story that I have to tell you about. Essentially, she was removed from Parliament Hill because of her vaccination status, and when she got onto the grounds of Parliament Hill, you require a COVID-19 vaccination, and she was deemed to be in violation of it. She has been an MP since 2015 in Saskatchewan from the riding of Yorkton-Melville, and she did not show her proof of vaccination. She says when the reporters asked her what actually happened, and you can see right there, that's her. Well, she says that she was expecting some sort of an action for her removal from the House of Commons precinct. And so she says when she entered the building, the sergeant at arms asked to speak to her in his office. She didn't offer details of what the conversation was between the two of them, but she did say that then she was asked to leave. The sergeant at arms escorted her off Parliament Hill and to her car, and she ended up attending the House of Commons meeting virtually. Essentially, she says that she is from Saskatchewan. She has to go to work in Ottawa, and because she does not have a vaccination status that she's showing, she's not able to get on a plane or train. This is federal law where if you don't have a vaccination passport to show your status, you cannot get on a plane or a train. And she says that she has driven from her riding in Saskatchewan to Ontario to Ottawa to go to work. She says due to the vaccination passport, what she's had to do is she's had to do her meetings virtually. And this is her statement on it. She says she hasn't been able to come to her office since November of last year on Parliament Hill, and this was her time back, and she was asked to leave. This is her statement. She says, "This is ridiculous. Ontario is open. My province has been open for a long time." What she means by open is meaning the mandates have been removed. You do not have to show it to be able to go to a restaurant or a place of work or whatever the case is, and go into a store. She says, well, you know, this shouldn't be the case in Ontario, and for me to be able to go to my job, which is on Parliament Hill. She says, "I'm prepared to do whatever I need to do to continue to do my job as best as I can in light of the circumstances." And yeah, there we are. This is what happened. And opposition House leaders have been calling for quite some time to end the vaccine mandates, especially when it comes to travel. And I want to highlight this for you before we go into some of the clips that I have prepared for you to take a look at what's happening when it comes to travel at Pearson Airport, which you've been hearing for a very long time with the long lineups when it comes to security and baggage claim and everything else that's been going on. If you recall, when the mandates were in place and there was a travel ban, most of the flights were directed to just a handful of airports in the country, and Pearson was one of them, and direct flights were removed from other airports in smaller cities. And it's essentially since then has created such a backlog as all the connection flights come into Toronto, and at times you're hearing about having to stay on the tarmac on your plane after you have landed to be able to go even to Customs Hall and the lineup that's there. And we have quite a video for you to be able to see. Now, when it comes to Wagenthal, the MP from Saskatchewan, she says that you know, just a few weeks ago she was there at the National Prayer Breakfast, and at that time she says she was sitting close to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and John Brassard, who's the House Leader, he says, opposition House Leader. Well, he says, you know what, Trudeau had no problem sitting next to MP Wagenthal at last week's prayer breakfast, but he won't sit across the aisle from her in the House. The hypocrisy is astonishing, essentially saying that the Prime Minister really makes the rules when it comes to vaccine mandates coming onto Parliament Hill, and when it comes to government employees. And over that, he says it's up to him if he can remove it since Ontario's open. And that's where that stands when it comes to an MP not being able to go to work.